I smiled softly, hugged Emily tightly in my arms, then slowly unbuttoned her shirt one by one. The white bra appeared clearly before my eyes. Looking at her two bulging breasts made me feel so excited. Welcome to our channel. If you love engaging and emotional love stories, then come to our channel. Here, we will bring you stories full of surprises, touching and engaging. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any interesting stories. In today's video, we would like to present to you a story called The Lucky Boy and the New Girls, narrated by Jane. Please watch along. The place where I live is a countryside area that grows only lychees. The 15-year-old lychee trees spread their shade all over the hills. My name is Brian, a strong young man, generally because I do a lot of farming, so I am healthy. After finishing high school, I stayed home to take a gardening class and take care of my family's lychee garden. My family has a relatively large lychee garden, so we are quite well off, especially when the lychee season comes. I and some people go to pick lychees. It is quite a lot, so we hire some people to pick them for hire. I do not need to pick trees far away, but only go to work to help the workers. The bunches of bright red lychees are picked and piled up for the traders to take away. Last summer, the lychee harvest was good. My family hired quite a few people to pick them, mostly high school students on summer break looking for extra work. I am cheerful and easy to get along with, so everyone likes to talk to me. In the morning, I drove the tractor out and took some people up to the lychee hill because the trees on the higher side had more fruit, so everyone wanted it. I took along two high school kids. Just kids, but they had grown up quite a lot. Seeing the lychee trees on the higher side of the hill growing larger, the kids said, "Let me go up there and pick some. There's a lot up there, but how much can I get down here?" "Okay, let's go up, but can we break such a big tree?" Looking at these two tiny girls, do you think we can break them? You keep looking down on us. Do you think we're girls and can't be fooled? You're wrong. We're experts, understand? Yeah, I know you guys are in the experts. Now tell me your names so I can write them down in the book. When we get back, I'll add some weight for you. How cool. Thanks, my name is Emily, and this is Emma. I smiled and scribbled a few words on a piece of squared paper and put the two girls down. Emma and Emily looked quite pretty. Emily had her hair tied up high and was wearing a cap, looking very mischievous. I waited for the two kids to get off the bus and then drove home. It was almost noon. I and a few others drove the bus back. When we got to the top of the hill, we saw Emily and Emma still competing to climb up and pick. Because the trees were tall and numerous, Emma and Emily could not pick all of them. Looking at Emily's red cheeks covered in sweat, I smiled and said, "You two go down and rest for a bit. Why are you so excited? What did you eat?" The two kids in the tree shouted down, "Wait a little longer. This one is almost gone. I have to admit that your lychee is really good and sweet too." I smiled and got off the car to look at the two kids on the tree. Emma was pretty, but not as pretty as Emily. Looking up from below through her shirt, I could clearly see her pair of breasts in their prime peeking out from under her big gold shirt, and my heart was filled with joy. After looking at Emma's whole body, I turned to Emily. I had to admit that Emily had a pretty good set of speakers. I could say they were bigger than Emma's. After a while, I urged the two kids to come down. When I brought them some bottles of iced green tea, Emma and Emily smiled and said, "Thank you. I like working at your house like this. I get to gain weight and drink water like this, too. Next time, let me do it, too." "Okay, after you finish drinking, eat some sticky rice. I brought it up for you. Do you have energy?" "I'm full just picking lychees occasionally. Don't worry, my blood sugar is up. But actually, I'm still very hungry." "Eat a lot to have strength, dear." I handed out 2 packages of sticky rice, and they both took them and ate, drinking as they ate. I smiled and asked, "What grade are you two in?" "We are in 11th grade, bro. We have to save some money this summer to go to school. We don't like asking our grandparents too much." I smiled softly, peeled the lychee, and put it in my mouth, then spat out the seed and said, "A pretty girl like me must be very attractive to many guys, and since I'm in 11th grade, I guess I already have one, right?" "You're joking. Ugly girls like us. No one would love us, no one. But you are handsome and rich, so you must have a lot of girls. There's no one to fall for if there is. It's good for me. And if you have any pretty friends, please introduce them to me. I also want a lover, but I don't have anyone yet." When I said that, Emma quickly said, "Look no further, Emily. Here is so gentle and kind, doesn't have a boyfriend yet, looks pretty, and suits you very well." Before I could react, Emily's face turned red with embarrassment. Seeing Emma keep teasing like that, Emily's face turned red too. I quickly supported Emily. "Why do you need to tease your friend like that? Look at your face, it's red. But if you want to love, you're not sure if you can. You're just afraid that Emily won't like it." "Oh, Emily doesn't like it anymore. Look at her face like that. I want it, but can't." It seemed like Emily had only waited for Emma to say that before she said, "If you like it, I'll give it to you, okay? You can say it's all yours." Emma was speechless when Emily said that. I sat there and laughed and said to stop the two of them from arguing. "Okay, okay, I'm sorry, I was just joking and you thought it was serious. Take a break. You can do it this afternoon." I sat on a pile of dry lychee leaves and looked at the two girls. They looked really delicious. After a while, the two girls climbed up and continued to pick. Because there were few, the work was quick, not too slow. In a flash, 4 lychee trees were finished, and there were many broken leaves. I and the two girls gently loaded them onto the cart and returned. When I got home, I weighed them and gave them their wages. For every 2,010 kilos of lychee, I added 50 kilos more for them to make it more. Emma and Emily both smiled happily when they saw the new coins I paid them. Emily's gentle smile made me very happy. The next morning, only Emily came. I was surprised and asked, "Where is Emma? Why are you the only one here today?" "Oh, I have something to do at home, so I can't come. Maybe tomorrow." "Looking at your face like this, you must be missing Emma, right? I'll tell her when I get home tonight." I just asked. I don't remember anything. Maybe I miss you more than I miss Emma. Do you dare to pull out trees like that again today? Why wouldn't you dare? What are you afraid of? Emma must be very sad today. Looking at Emily's mischievous and happy face, I was a little bit shocked, but Emily was so pretty that I just smiled. I took Emily to the lychee hill and chose the place with the most lychees and said, "Emily, you're alone today. Pick whatever you want. I'll pick with you today, too. I'm afraid there won't be enough for the traders." I smiled and parked the fabric cart and helped Emily down. After a short break, Emily climbed up and picked it. Watching her small hands nimbly pick each bunch of succulent fabric made me feel quite amused. I picked a bit and then went down. Not used to it like Emily, I was sitting and watching Emily climb when Emily stepped on a rotten branch and fell down. Without waiting, I stretched out my body and lay down to catch Emily. Emily fell with a thud on me, and Emily and I rolled a few times. Our limbs were scratched. Emily was fine. Her clothes were a little dirty, and she said, "I'm sorry, I accidentally stepped on a rotten branch and it broke. Are you okay?" "I'm fine, but you're so heavy. Pressing down on me hurts my whole body. If I hadn't blocked it, I would have broken my arm." Emily was still lying on top of me. Her body was so soft, especially when her 2 soft breasts gently rubbed against me, making me feel so good. I gently rubbed Emily's back and said, "Come on, get off. Why are you pressing me down like this? How can I stand it? It's as heavy as a rock." Emily blushed and sat up when she heard me say that. I also sat up and breathed when Emily's whole body pressed against me. I gently sat up and looked at Emily's body. It looked so soft and delicious. The hills and hills rising slightly made me extremely happy. Her dirty shirt was covered with dry leaves. I looked at it and smiled and said, "Be careful. Next time you'll die. But the baby is quite heavy. Pressing down on me hurts my whole body." "I'm not that heavy. I just fell from a high place, so it's like that." "I'm so bored with you, but you can't even help me like this?" "Then try falling like that and see if I can catch it. You're just good at talking, as if it were easy. Look at that face." When I said that, Emily also sulked and stood up. I pulled Emily's hand, but unexpectedly, Emily once again fell into my arms. I smiled slightly and hugged Emily gently in my arms. When Emily saw me hugging her like that, she gently pushed me away and said, No one is better at taking advantage of you. If you let go, someone might see. Who would see? What's the problem if they see? Can't I just give you a hug? No? Is that okay? Looking at your face, that personality is already revealed. Then, with you of all people, how can I stand seeing you like that? Let me hug you. I walked over and hugged Emily tightly in my arms. The light scent of sweat slowly drifted into my nose. This time I hugged her tighter. Emily couldn't escape from my arms anymore. Emily just softly said, "Okay, I know. Let go. I'll break the rest. I'm afraid I won't be able to make it to your house in time now. Let go when we go out. Can I hug you?" "But I want to hold you like this. I love you, Emily." "Yes, love me, let me go." I had no choice but to gently turn Emily away, but looking at Emily's cute face made me feel so excited that I couldn't bear it. I hugged her so that her two grapefruits gently rubbed against my chest. Then I slowly kissed her lips. The strong, fragrant feeling of a high school girl made me feel so excited that I couldn't bear it. Emily must have been a bit shy because it was her first time being kissed, so she bit her teeth lightly to let me slowly bite her lips. After a few seconds, Emily gently pushed me away and said, "Okay, we've kissed. Let me do it. Hurry up, or I'll be late so you can pick it up from below, or else you'll fall down again." After I finished speaking, I climbed up the tree to pick the bunches of red lychees so that Emily could stay below and catch them. I didn't pick them quickly, but I picked a lot. I climbed up quite quickly, and in no time, the lychee tree was gone. I loaded the baskets of lychees onto the car, and we left. Emily smiled and sat close to me, then gently put her hand on mine and said, "I've loved you since I saw you at school when I was in 10th grade." "Really? You don't know that. But when you were in school, you were also promiscuous. I know that. You're endlessly clingy. I like you too, but I'm just afraid you don't like me. I'll let you kiss me. Don't let me down, okay? I won't forbid you, but just think about me a little." "Yeah, I know, it's just me, no one else. After graduating, you're completely different. Not like before, you see, no one loves you. Who knows you, they're suspicious of your face." I smiled and weighed the fabric for Emily, and also added a little more so that Emily would have more money. After a while, Emily also went home. As usual, Emma and Emily went to pick fabric the next day. When Emma came, I only talked happily and didn't dare to do anything. After more than a week, our feelings also grew a little. I gently asked Emily to go out. Emily also agreed. But there was nothing to do here. Let's just go and enjoy the cool air. Then I asked Emily to go to my fabric hill to play. Emily gently held my hand and said, "I admit that your family is really a lot. My family has a little. Picking it all in one day, selling it won't make much money. Your family has a lot like this, but the price is low, it won't be much. I'm thinking of crossing the border." Hearing me say that, Emily widened her eyes in surprise and asked back, "You're planning to cross the border. Where are you going?" "Go wherever you can, as long as you get away from here. Let my parents and my younger brother manage these lychee hills. All the effort and care is gone for nothing. If you want to go, I'll wait a year and we'll go together. If you can wait for me, I will go with you. I will be your wife. Just don't leave me." "I won't leave you. Even though we've only been in love for a few days, I'm already afraid of losing you." As I said that, Emily gently leaned her head on my shoulder. I also slowly slid my hand inside her waist and slowly hugged Emily into my arms. An unbearable, soft, and pleasant feeling. Even though I had hugged a lot in high school, I had never felt like this before. The dry lychee leaves rustled below where we were sitting. The wind on the hill blew softly and was extremely pleasant. I slowly raised my hand and slowly rubbed my two newly sprouted grapefruits. As soon as I raised my hand, Emily touched my hand and said, "Don't move your hand around. Keep it in the same position. Do you hear? Look at that face." "How can I stand it in the same position? Come on, give me some. I like yours very much." I said that, but regardless of Emily's reaction, I slowly raised my hand and gently rubbed her bra. Because I was only in 11th grade, Emily's breasts had just started to sprout. If I couldn't push my hand away, Emily would just let me explore. a feeling of voluntary pleasure. Emily no longer held me back, but slowly put her hand around me and put her other hand on my thigh, slowly rubbing the outside, and then slowly slid her hand inside and gently pinched it. Emily's two breasts weren't big, but they were extremely hard. They were firm. The two peanuts were retracted and not yet protruding. After rubbing a bit, I hugged Emily tightly into my arms and slowly said to Emily softly, "I love you so much. Your rubbing is really nice." "So do you like it?" Emily didn't say anything. She just nodded her head gently in agreement. I gently moved my hand and slowly bit Emily's lips. This time, Emily gently opened her lips for me to bite, a warm and pleasant feeling. Emily also hugged me tightly while kissing me. She slowly moved her hand down to my soft belly and then slid her hand down below. At this point, Emily removed her lips from mine and said, "Come on, don't be like that anymore. I can let you be on top of me, but not below me. There's no difference between above and below, so what's wrong with giving me a little?" After saying that, I hugged Emily tightly but did not rush and continued to feed her the delicious tongue porridge. I liked it so much that I pursed my lips and slowly slid my hand down below to gently rub her belly, and then slowly slid it inside. Because I was pressing down on her like that, Emily could no longer hold my hand, and in no time my hand touched the inside of Emily's already stretched out Venus Hill. The black grass gently touched my fingertips. Emily cleared her throat and said, "I told you not to stay down there. Why do you insist on doing this?" "I like yours so much. Just give me a little." I gently put my hand down and slowly caressed the smooth black grass. When I reached there, Emily also closed her legs. Not long after, I also slowly slid a finger down the stream and walked back and forth in front of the cave entrance. After a while, the water in the cave began to leak out. I no longer put my hand inside my pants to explore, but gently put my hand up and gently massaged the two grapefruits. I released my lips from Emily's mouth and said, "Do you like what I do?" "It's normal. I like it, but I'm shy. And you're the first person I've let do that to. Understand?" "I know. I like yours very much." "Now can I have your grapefruit? I can't stand it anymore." "Come on, in a place like this, if people find out, how can I show any face? Don't, when no one is home and you have a day off, can you come in for me? There's no one here now, let me go. Just unbutton a few buttons, I'm craving it so much." I said that and then reached down and slowly unbuttoned Emily's shirt. Two small, round grapefruits gradually appeared. Because it was dark, I couldn't see clearly. I could only feel their softness. The bra was still hugging the two grapefruits tightly. I gently raised my hand, and Emily gently grabbed my hand and pressed it. After a few rounds, I gently pulled Emily's shirt up and slowly bent down to kiss her peanuts. Emily's thing was completely inside, so I tried hard to squeeze it. After a while, Emily gently pushed me away and said, "Okay, you're fine like this. Don't do it anymore. I have to go home early or my parents will scold me." "Okay, that's fine. Put your clothes on carefully." I fixed Emily's clothes and kissed her again. At the same time, I also stuffed a few hundred into her hand. Emily asked in surprise, "Why are you giving me this money? Can't you give it to your future wife?" "Oh, you're asking for just that. If Emily gives it to you, then just take it. Use it to buy books. When you finish studying, go with Emily." "Yeah, I know. Bye, my Emily." We hung out for a bit, and then I saw Emily home, feeling happy that maybe we could do it with Emily soon. Actually, we had done it quite a lot in high school, mostly by tricking girls, and only the stupid ones would take the bait. The next morning when we woke up, we finished making a few more and went to sell them. Emily and Emma both liked it because we could do a lot. We still hung out in the evenings, but it didn't go any further. A few days later, my parents went to the dry fabric processing plant and the woodworking factory. I was bored at home, so I called Emily. A clear voice came on the phone. "Hello, who is this?" "Here is your semele, and you don't recognize me." "I'm so bored. Can you come over to Emily's house today? Dad's home." "Excuse me, I think I can go, but is anyone home? I miss you so much, Emily." "There's no one at home. If there was, I wouldn't have called you. Come quickly. I miss you so much." Okay, wait a minute. I was lying at home happily, and after a while, I saw Emily come by on her bike. Emily was not dressed up, so she looked even more cute and adorable. I invited Emily inside and opened a soda for her to drink. After drinking it in one gulp, Emily said coquettishly, I had to hide for a long time to get out here, making up excuses after excuses, asking me all sorts of questions. I gently moved closer and hugged Emily gently, kissing her hair. The scent of the countryside made me feel so good. My two hands below also slowly moved down to her belly and gently rubbed it. At first, Emily remained still, but when I gently ran my fingers up, Emily said, Come on, don't do that here. If someone comes in and sees, it'll be terrible. Come on, there's no one. You're just scared of random things. Okay, if you're scared, you can go to my room. There's no one up there, and if you close the door, no one will know. I miss you so much. Without waiting for Emily to reply, I carried Emily to my room and closed it. Looking at my room, Emily smiled and said, As expected of a young master, it looks really nice. The room is not lacking anything, right? Why is there nothing missing except you, Emily? After saying that, I hugged Emily tightly in my arms and slowly kissed her forehead, then her nose, and finally her red lips. The soft, smooth feeling made me feel so good that I couldn't stand it anymore. Emily also started to have a craving, slowly bringing her lips for me to bite. But the faint sunlight shining through the room made the room bright. I started to gently bite the tip of Emily's lips to please her. Our saliva seemed to be tightly wrapped around each other and then flowed gently into her mouth. Below, my hand had reached inside and slowly squeezed her two grapefruits, an unbearable feeling. Those feelings made Emily feel like she was on fire with desire. After a while, I lifted Emily's chin and smiled, saying, Do you like me doing this? How does it feel? I don't know, I just find it sad. I really like it. It's great. It's kind of sleepy. I smiled softly, hugged Emily tightly in my arms, and slowly unbuttoned her shirt. The white bra appeared clearly before my eyes. Looking at Emily's two full breasts made me so excited. Although they weren't big, they were quite firm. I gently raised my hand and slowly rubbed them, and Emily also relaxed her body. I gently lifted the bra up to look at the two breasts. Emily's skin wasn't white, but they were quite firm. The two breasts had just sprouted but were still extremely beautiful. The peanut-colored Emily's nipples were recessed inside, making me so excited. Unable to restrain that feeling of desire, I bent down and bit those two breasts. Emily closed her eyes, gently rubbed my back, and said, Continue. Don't stop. It feels so good, so comfortable. I can't take it anymore. I slowly put my hands around her waist and slowly kissed her shoulders and neck. Emily couldn't stand it anymore. She gently closed her eyes and slowly hugged me. I couldn't stand it anymore, so I let Emily lie down and slowly kissed her two grapefruits and gradually down to her slim belly. After a while, it was her waistband. I slowly unbuttoned her pants and kissed down below. The white panties gradually appeared before my eyes, and I gently took them off. The jet black grass also slowly appeared before my eyes. I could also clearly see what the stream looked like. It was Emily, but also a bit darker. The water from the stream also slowly flowed out. I gently put my head in there, and it was delicious. Emily seemed unable to bear it and cried out, Oh, I can't stand it anymore, honey. I feel something when you do that. It feels so good. After a while, I said to Emily, Can I do it now? Let's do this much. Let's not do that anymore. I'm scared. If it happens, it will be a disaster. I'm still in school. How can I have that? I did it. I bought you some medicine. Don't worry, there's nothing. I really want to do it with you. It won't hurt. You'll like it. Emily was hesitating when I continued to act, and what had to happen happened. On the narrow bed, Emily and I entangled with each other, giving ourselves to each other. She gave me the 1,000 gold that she had kept for so long. I was extremely happy because my collection of trophies was growing, and this was Emily's first time. The fun continued for about 40 more minutes, and then it was over. I came out inside Emily. I admit that it was tiring, so I gently lay down next to Emily, sweating. Emily gently rubbed my body a little and said, "Just doing a little and you're already sweating like this. What are you doing that's so weak? Keep trying. How can you try? You act like it's easy." While lying like that, Emily suddenly frowned and said, "Oh my gosh, why is there so much of it? It's inside and it's still spilling out. It's so disgusting." As soon as she finished speaking, Emily also stood up, reached out, and gently rubbed her slit. Mine also kept flowing out a lot. Emily looked up and glared at me and said, "Here, give me the towel. It's all over your bed. Make me wash it. It serves you right. Next time, just let out less." This time, I couldn't say anything, just watched Emily clean her pussy. I had to admit that there was a lot of mine all over the bed. It was noon, so it was brighter, so I could see Emily's perfect body clearly. Looking at the clock, Emily panicked and said, "Oh no, it's time for me to go home. It's late." I wonder if my parents will scold me. What took me so long? If I do it late, I'll like it later. If I do it quickly, how can I like it? I probably won't scold you. Emily stood up, combed her hair, and got dressed. I also took out the pill pack from the drawer and gave it to Emily, saying, "Take it, or you'll be screwed." Emily smiled when she heard me say that, raised her head, and said, "If you don't take it from me, you won't get pregnant, but you'll make me marry you." I was also shocked by Emily's answer, so I begged her, "Please drink it and let me have a favor. If it's true, I won't be able to support you and marry you. It's up to you. If you have the guts to do it, then you have the guts to take responsibility. If I don't drink, then I won't drink." I sat on the bed, speechless. Emily finished combing her hair, got dressed, looked at me, and laughed out loud. "Ha ha, look at your face. Why are you so funny? I'm just kidding you. You're so gullible. Don't worry, I don't have to take medicine. I just finished my period. Why would I have to take it? If you do that again, you won't be able to have children, my silly Emily." I really didn't expect Emily to say that to me, but I smiled slightly and nodded in agreement with Emily, and then saw Emily out. Emily smiled and turned back to me and said, "Remember, if you leave me for someone else, don't blame me." "Yeah, I know. How could I leave you? You're so cute and adorable." "Go home, or you'll get scolded." Emily smiled and said goodbye to me as she left. I went inside, pulled out the bed sheet, put it in the washing machine, and took a shower. Lying in the tub, I gently scrubbed myself, imagining Emily's beautiful curves. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of part one of the story. What will be the dramatic and exciting details of the story? Please stay tuned for the next parts of the story. Now, Jane would like to say goodbye and see you again in part two. I hope you enjoy the story and have a wonderful day.